Hey there, everyone. We've got something new today. This is solving a mystery, and this is not really my doing. For a long time, I'd been searching for this movie, and I didn't know the name of it, and I only knew the basic plot of it, and a kind of theme song. Um, and this was a movie I saw when I was very young, probably 8 years old, I'm guessing. It's like very early 80s. And it was a movie I saw in the morning on HBO, and that's all I knew. And I posted about it on Facebook, like, hey, anybody heard of this? And because I'm an oldo, I post things on Facebook. You know, I'm, uh, but Vampire Mike of Sega CD Universe decided, like, I want to know what this is too. So instead of asking on Facebook like a boomer, I'm gonna post it on Reddit and they'll figure out what it is immediately. And he posted it on Reddit, and of course, Reddit figured it out immediately. And it turns out that, like, the name of the movie is Soupman. So Soupman, yeah, it's kind of an educational movie, and it's not movie length. It's like 30 minutes, but this movie, it's been in my head for, like 30 plus years, but I only saw it once, like 30 plus years ago. And watching it again recently, it's it's exactly as I remember it, which is bizarre. Like, some things you remember, some I don't know why. But let's look at Soupman here. So Soupman is a kind of like an educational film for, children. Gives children, like, moral lessons. This is very much a thing that you'd watch in a school. You can tell because the film is transferred from a film strip, and if you're old, you remember in school the teachers had to wheel out these, like, World War II tank sounding film projectors to show things in class. So you'd get, the, like, film strip day. That was the day, man. You'd get, like, they'd have reels of film, and they put out the projector, and you'd watch some kind of educational movie. And I didn't see Superman in school, but this is generally what this type of movie is for. So this movie starts out with a kid. I'm guessing it's New York City, and they're part of, like, a youth gang, which was a big thing in the 70s. It was, like, stuff like The Warriors is based on the kind of real life thing where, like, there were themed gangs every block of New York. It was just kind of how it was. And this is like one of those gangs. So they're, kids. The gang is run by a tough girl who reminds me of, like, your kind of tough girl early 80s stereotype. Imagine someone like Joan Jett or something. It's like that kind of girl. She's like the leader of the gang, and what they do is they run heists stealing TVs from old folks out of an apartment building.
That's Red Cadaro behind me. She's a tough broad with brains, which is why nobody says grab the TV. You're sixth in 2 weeks.
And it's the most ridiculous plan because, like, this gang, they go into their houses when the old folks go out to, like, shop or something, and they'll just take their TV. And you think, like, it seems ridiculous now, but, like, stealing the TV in, like, 1980 when this movie was made, I think 80, is like, you can sell it to somebody, but the gang doesn't ever sell the TVs. They have the TVs. They, like, are storing them. They have a bunch of TVs in their clubhouse. I don't know. They're supposed to be somehow making money, but they never sell any of the TVs in the movie. So, and they've just got a collection. So you're just kind of like, what are you doing?
This is the loot. I can't actually tell you where it is. I mean, a hideout's a hideout, right?
You're just stealing TVs for no reason. But anyway, the kid himself, he's, like, part of this gang stealing TVs, and he lives with his grandmother. and they have like a very stereotypical, like what you imagine as like New York in the 70s Italian families have. So like they're 1 minute they're screaming at each other and 1 minute they're like laughing. It's just like a turn of the dime. They're like constantly joking with each other, screaming at each other, loving each other.
You eat?
I ain't hungry.
I'll make you some.
You want to make me something to eat? Make me some soup.
Soup. Why don't you chew something? You know? Like always. You lose your teeth.
No,
you lost your teeth again, didn't you? Come on, find your teeth. You're always losing your teeth. What is
Joey,
this?
stop! I already put them in my mouth.
Jeez, Christ.
So.
What kind you want?
Chicken gumbo.
You and your chicken gumbo.
Hey. Be a soup maker, don't be no critic. Did you make your bed today, soup maker?
Don't I always?
You're a good boy. So, how's school?
Why, you want to come?
Cute. When was the last time you was at school? You know I don't like you not going to no school. You know what's going to happen to you? You don't go to school. I don't like you missing school.
Yeah? And I don't like your coughing like that neither. I'm calling the doctor.
Oh, that's a waste of money.
Don't worry so much about the money. I'm in charge of the money. I take care of the money. All right?
Right.
You ain't gonna die on me, are you?
Hey, would I do a thing like that to you? Huh?
That's my grandma.
And then
She lied.
this. So that was depressing. They have a, he has to move with his aunt or an uncle, I guess, and they have like, his cousins are all like bratty, preppy kids, and he hates it. But he's still rolling with his gang. It's like his escape from his shitty life with his aunt and uncle. And they decide like, okay, we got a new plan. We're gonna rob these old folks. They're gonna go out. We've been staking this place. They got a lot of stuff. And the kid ends up being the lookout, and he's like not paying attention as the lookout, and the cops roll up on him, and everybody gets caught. But they like easily fooled cops, and they all run away except for one kid. Like, of course, it's the fat kid. So he decides like, okay, I'll make it up to you guys. I'll just do my own job by myself. I'll get a TV without you guys. I'll just do it on my own. And he goes off and does it, and he pulls it off easy. So he decides like, I'm gonna do that again. I can do two by myself. I'll be a hero. And he accidentally goes into the wrong house. He's like staked out a house. He sees the old people leave, and he wants to go in through the window, but he goes accidentally into the wrong house, and there's another old lady in there, and his grandmother had died. He had lived with her, and she's this sick old lady. And she's like, she's like freaking out because there's a kid crawling through a window.
Go away, I'm sick.
And, he like pretends like, oh, you're not my grandmother. And then like realizes she's sick. And he kind of has like a feeling like maybe she's like my grandmother. So like who just died, he's very sad about, right? So he helps her. He becomes friends with her. He helps her when she's sick, and she comes over and he cooks for her. And he like sort of gains a friendship of this old lady. And by proxy, he becomes friends with all the old people in the building. So he starts to like care about them because they're nice to him. And he like realizes like, I've been doing bad stuff. These people don't have anything. They're poor. They're like afraid to leave their apartments. They're afraid they're going to get beat up or their stuff's going to get stolen. And they like, they're miserable because of it and because of like him. So he decides like, he finds out the gang is going to rob another one of them, and he like tricks them into stealing a like I said, they never sell the TVs from the place, so he tricks them into selling one of their own TVs, like stealing one of their own TVs. He just takes it from the clubhouse. Nobody notices because there's like too many, and he puts it in the old person's house and hides their actual stuff. And then the gang comes in and steals the TV, and they're like, yeah, we got another TV to add to our giant TV collection. And then one of them realized, like, hey, this is our own TV. I remember covering my initials into this one. And, they all like realize that the kid screwed them, and they beat him up. And he gets taken care of by the old folks after he gets beat up, and realizes, like, okay, he can't be in the gang anymore, but he needs to get money, so he starts a business selling soup to the old folks door to door, so like they can eat, they don't have to worry about getting food, and he can make a little money. It's like a heartwarming little story. It's 30 minutes, but it's the kind of thing that was like, it feels so good to finally find this movie, but it also brought me down an entire road of watching film strips, like 70s and early 80s, like converted film strips that would have been like educational films for kids. And consider this the first episode of lots and lots of film strips to come. So hopefully I will see you guys next time, and I'll be back with more stuff that I do, I guess. I don't know, but eventually there'll be more film strip videos, maybe once a week or so. I got a bunch of things I'm gonna do. I've got things in the works, things in the air, things are happening. But we are in a nonstop daily video stream here, at least for the next month. So daily videos still going on, and hope you guys are enjoying these, and I will catch you all later.
Became a